All right. I think we are good to start. How is everyone doing?
Oh, yes, everyone. I think even if you're not comfortable with turning on your mic, you can also go to the chat and drop a GM. Just confirm you're over here.
Yeah. So let's keep the session engaging and interactive. It won't just be me talking or explaining things. I would appreciate your input and any queries that you have. You want to share something about AI or Web3. Feel free to turn on your mic and share it. So before we start with AI monetization, let's see the audience that we have today. Like how many of you are actively using AI today, in your daily life, be it for technical things or like non-technical things, marketing, whatever. Like if you are a founder or a developer in marketing or any role, if you are using AI actively in your daily life, uh, can you just maybe send an emoji or just type in the chat. I think pretty sure most of you would be using AI right now. If you haven't heard about ChatGPT or ChatGPT by now, I think you would either be living under a rock or something. So yeah.
At this point, I believe Claude is a bit more, getting recent eyeballs than ChatGPT. I mean, there's a huge number of people or audience which have moved away from ChatGPT to just enter Claude.
Yeah. So Clad is more better at doing the desk jobs. uh, so ChatGPT is usually better at this creative things. They have been doing with image models or video models, although they have recently discontinued their video generation platform. But yeah, so so ChatGPT from the beginning they have been focusing on the multimedia. So yes, I mean they have more edge over that. But Claude, are they double down on the engineering of helping the developers? So their products are more good at providing you a better. Their models are usually better at coding or long running tasks. Even for marketing, they are actually good. But yeah, if you're generating images and all, Claude doesn't have any image model or video model. So yes,
That's true.
yeah. So overall, they do have some shortcomings. But yeah, so Gemini is also good for branding and stuff. They have good video models. The latest VO model is actually good. But yeah, even in the video models, actually the open source models are also very on par with the proprietary ones. Cdns when from Alibaba Labs. So this in actually so in the multimedia sector, actually we have some good video models. Other than the coding models, like coding models are still not at the on par with the proprietary models like Codex, Opus and all. But video models are pretty much good. You can check out Cdance, the latest. I think is C 2 point something latest. Let me just check that.
I think in meantime, while you search and send, let's officially give a start to today's town hall. So first of all, welcome everyone to today's town hall. It's town hall 23, and our topic for today is future of AI monetization and open AI economics. So it's and today we are going to have a different format of the whole town hall. It's more of going to be an open and discussion between me, Vamsi, Karthik, and you all can get involved in this. So where we do share the insights of how we have been personally using the AI models, AI agents, and everything in our day-to-day life, and how what's the major difference between how you can get into this whole AI economy at this point. That's the major discussion which we have today. And this whole series of town halls are being sponsored by Deep Funding and SingularityNET, and it's taking place under Onsen Asia. Onsen Asia is the community that we're running for the new budding AI developers, and every you can be a consumer, you can be a developer, or anyone who's playing around with AI and or building with AI. So you are welcome to the community and be a part of it. So that's where we are right now, and let's get started. So yes, Vamsi, like I think let's continue from where you left behind. You are discussing about this thing, about the difference in the AI models basically. And one more thing which I see over here is like there's a small gap, or it started as a small gap, but I think that that gap is widening each and every day, and that gap is around the different types of peoples who are using AI models. So there's like one sector of the society using AI models as an alternative for Google search. So they have limited the capabilities. I mean, they're not reaching towards the capabilities of AI, which it's possible to do at this point. So at max to max, they're using as an Google search alternative, or go on with some trend, the Ghibli art trend or something, generate some images. That's the whole purpose of AI that they have been using at this point. And on the other end, you and I and most of us know that what capabilities the AI holds at this point. So yes, Vamsi, I think like you can go a deep dive on this particular thing and share your opinion.
Yeah, sure. So talking about video models, uh, WAN WAN 2.2 is good for animation, and Kling is actually proprietary. But yeah, VO3 again proprietary one from Gemini. And other than that, so to compare WAN with VO, right? It's on par with VO actually. So this is a open source model. So if you look at this private models, right? You can't actually clone yourself with these models. Let's say you are a content creator, video content creator, especially you have a Instagram page or let's say YouTube channel, right? If you want to feed all your data videos as a knowledge base to the even your voice as well, right? For voice we can use a separate model actually, but yeah, video is the main part here. So if you can actually clone yourself with these models, if you provide enough video content of yourself. Earlier it used to be a hours of content, but now even a pretty much 1 to 2 hours of you speaking, right, is pretty much enough. If you want to do it in English, it's pretty much possible, and if you want to do it in other Indian languages as well, like Hindi, Telugu, Tamil, that's also possible now. If you look at Varun Maya's content, like Varun Maya is one of the popular creators in AI space. He automates most of his content creation journey. So if you look at his videos, earlier he used to show less of his face content. When he is talking about something in his shorts or reels, most of the time it will be showcasing the particular thing, particularly like stock image or something, you can say that, right? Explaining something else. But yeah, his face used to be more of like, let's say in 30-60 seconds clip, it used to be for 10 seconds, but right now it's more like it's increasing. That's because earlier these video models used to generate very less, but so basically they had limitations of only 5 seconds and 10 seconds. Now they are improving in terms of maintaining consistency in the as the video length grows as well. So that's about video models. Now again, in this particular segment, someone wants to monetize, right? There are many like influencers in India as well, like, or in Asia, right? You can reach out to them, be it Instagram or YouTube. You can learn the workflow of how to create a video, normal video. Like you can start with recording yourself and ask it to generate something else. If you don't know Hindi, right, you can actually use a voice model like from synthetic. You can actually use one from Hugging Face actually. These are There are some good voice models over here as well. Or else if you can spend some money, 11 Labs is also very good. So they have most of the models actually, like they are the leading like voice provider right now. So yeah, like for video you can use one of this model, and for voice you can use one model from 11 labs, and you can put all these things into one place, and you can build a pipeline with Comfy AI. Yeah, so Comfy is actually good for when you're doing multimodal things like AI or I mean image or video generation. So yeah, so you can play around with this thing. Yeah, if you can, Vio is good for a little bit of infographics. If you're generating screens for your app website, Vio is actually good for that. Clips for that. But yeah, if you want to clone yourself, right? Van is actually good. You can try the latest Van model, and you can provide that as a service to these influencers, that you can, or maybe you can build a platform that helps them. You can basically charge them a subscription for doing this thing, right? Let's say 10 videos per month of themselves. Like they can use their basically they can get to you're basically abstracting the content workflow here. Like they just have to upload the videos. They can do it from the mobile as well. So yeah, it's all about you building a wrapper and providing value to them by making it easy for them to automate their stuff, right? So that's about video models. Now, if we talk about Hugging Face, right? So Hugging Face, you can find all the open source models here. You can also publish a model here. Let's say Minimax 2.5 is one of the popular models for coding, and even for a normal overall model as well, it's actually good. So you can fine tune this model for a particular use case. Let's say what use case you can think. Let's say particular let's say Rust language, right? You can fine tune this model for based on the Rust code, and if you have more Rust code, you can just fine tune it on top of it, and you can train the model, post train the model, and you can make it more better for Rust, right? And if you have a proprietary language, right, like let's say Salesforce, all these big corporations, they have their own internal tools, and even some cases they have their different various versions of a popular language as well. Like similar to Python, they'll be having some other XYZ language which is proprietary, right? So they can feed all this data to these open source models, and they can build something that is much better, because it's all about context end of the day, right? So if the model doesn't has proper context of what exactly you need, it won't be able to generate better results for you, right? It will be assuming something else. So if you can take these open source models and build something for a specific use case, right? Let's say for generating uh, face meta ads. So Instagram ads are very popular, are very performing as well. They convert you a lot of. I mean, the conversion rate is actually good on Instagram meta ads, right? So you can build a model, you can take a small model and fine tune it based on all the top performing meta ads, like what works for what, and you can actually post train the model, and you can build a platform around it, right? You can provide, you can either do it like you can first thing would be you can simply list the model on Hugging Face. You can make you can monetize it by that as well. So based on the number of people running your model, you will be making money on based on that. So that's one simple way of doing it. Later, if you want to properly convert into your product, right, you can build a platform which, so instead of using some LLM models, you're using your own model. It could be open source or proprietary, it's up to you. So that model is a lot better. If that model is a lot better than others, or at least if you market it in a way that it is actually better than the you know the normal chat GPT or Claude, whatever the model they are using there, right? 5.3 GPT 5.3 is what they use in the chat GPT right now, and Claude 5.6, I think 516, I guess. Yeah. So doesn't matter. I mean, if it's a lot better than that, you can actually produce. You can actually attract people. You can run ads again using your own platform and attract clients for that. Right. So basically, it's all about fine tuning the models now and going into niche, right? Instead of being a generalist in the world where literally any LLM can do it, right? Surface level thing. You need to go deeper, dive deeper, and find things that are better at specific things. Right? If you look at Sarvam, right? Let me share you a fun fact about Sarvam. Sarvam AI, like one of the cool companies from India, like AI companies from India. So many people doesn't know that many people think that they're just a wrapper or they just build on top of the open source models that exist right now, right? But they actually did something revolutionary for Indian models, right? So if you go to ChatGPT, right, uh, basically how it I'll give a quick brief of how ChatGPT, how LLM model work, right? They use tokens for each and every tokens is what they represent the words in, right? So each token is like, so each word will be around two, three. So like each word would be, two, three, in each English word would be some three tokens, let's say, right? So that's for the English now. If you want to do it for Hindi or any other language, that would be very different because these tokenizer models are global and they don't use any specific tokenizing model for Indian languages. So simply, for simplifying it, so these models are basically built for the global scale. I mean, not just the LLM models, the tokenizer models they use, that's global one. They use the same one for all their models, right? So because due to which, let's say for 1,000 tokens, it's around some 700 to 800 English words. For Hindi or Telugu, that would take more tokens. Like for 1,000 tokens, you can get only a very 500 words or something, very less. That's because it takes more tokens for each word of any other Indian language, not just in any other language other than English, because these models are not actually good for that particular thing, because these are trained for optimized for English, right? So yeah, like if you're building a tokenizer for Hindi, that's what Sarvam did. They build a tokenizer for the Indian languages. So now for 1,000 tokens, they can produce a lot more words for Hindi or any other languages than ChatGPT, the model that ChatGPT using or Cloud is using, right? For simple explanation, they build the tokenizer, basically like they build something specifically for Indian languages. To simply put, it's not just some uh, taking some open source models and fine tuning it. There's a lot more to that. Sorry. So yeah, like so now now talking how you can do it and how you can monetize, right? So you can also do it for any other language. Let's say uh, uh, French, French or Spanish, whatever language, right? If you're doing it for that language, a global tokenizer, you can list it on Hugging Face, and based on the number of runs and all, you can make money from that. But yes, so other than Hugging Face, so what other services do we have? Like, so Hugging Face, as we know, is a centralized platform. So the one that I want to talk today is SingularityNET. So this platform, it's actually a marketplace for listing your AI services. It need not to be a model. It can be any AI service. Let's say you have fine-tuned a uh, open source model for doing OCR, right? Like scanning documents, all this stuff. So Mistral models are actually good at OCR. So you took Mistral models and fine-tune them with specific language like Telugu, Hindi, for Indian languages, right? So You can now what we can do, you can basically scan Indian language text, Indian textuals, like let's say Hindi textbooks or Telugu textbooks or any documents in that written in that language, and you can just handwritten documents as well. You can transcribe them, you can digitize them into online copies, and you can. So that's a lot of manual work if someone wants to do it, right? But even in OCR, since OCR, these more top models are not focusing much on the Indian languages for OCR, you can focus a particular language and build an OCR model for that and list it out here, right? And list it out here, or you can actually talk with directly to the government, or other agencies or companies that actually need this service, who has a lot of uh, documents in their native language and want to digitize that. So that's one of the use case. But yeah, if you go to this platform, let me just share this in the chart. Yeah, so I have shared in the chart. To go through this platform, you can find all these different services. So this one is like a sign language translator. Yeah. So this is one use case. So sign language is basically uh, you can basically I think using hands they do the sign language, right? Now with sign language, you have built an AI model, trained an AI model with the knowledge base of sign language. Now based on your sign language, it can explain what the person is trying to say, right? So that this is a very good novel use case. Yeah, this is the, to be honest, a very a common use case, but yes, still it's more about your distribution, to be honest. If people want to use it and you are able to reach them, you can actually monetize that as well, right? This is literally just some extraction of background or foreground. Yeah, so you can go through these other services that we have here as well. So the good thing about SingularityNET is that they are a decentralized ecosystem, and this marketplace is of course decentralized again. You can list your AI services, and it's not better than Hugging Face, because not just because it's decentralized, but the benefits that you get because it's decentralized, right? The perks of being decentralized. Let's say tomorrow if Hugging Face shuts down for some reason, all your models and services that you hosted on Hugging Face goes down as well. But that won't be the case for SingularityNET, right? And you will be earning in FET, like that's their native token FET, right? So the money, so you don't have to worry about payments as well here. In Hugging Face, I think it would be Stripe or some other payment provider. Here, it's cryptocurrency, so the fee would be less. The platform fee would be very minimal, and cross-border payments are very simplified here. Anyone from the world can use your AI service. You just need to take care of how good the model is. You can just list your model of service here, and people around the world can use it and pay for it. So, and this is paper use as well. So this is again like text summarization thing that you can see here. So as you can see, for each usage, so this is based on the usage here. Usually these models, let's say there are let's say if you want to do text summarization, I mean any other AI service as well, a platform is providing that for like some $20 a month, right? Here that's not the case. You can pay for the use, like you can pay some $0.10 for particular use, for some 5 users, 2 users, whatever the money, whatever the price that the provider is setting. You can actually decide that, and that, so the user, so it's a lot easier for the user to pay only that much and utilize the service instead of paying for the entire month, right? So that's actually a very good use case. So I want to take a pass and see if anyone has any doubts so far.
Feel free to use the chat also. I think we can continue, Vamsi. Maybe if there's someone messages, I'll let you know.
Yeah, sure. Just give me a minute. Yeah, guys, I'm back. So yeah, like continuing where we left. So that's about SingularityNET. It's a very good platform to explore. It's pretty much in its early phase. You can take advantage of that, right? Like if you are trying something when it's early, you can leverage that for like being a first comer, or early is actually is always a good sign for your growth. So now moving on to next topic, we can talk about how you use AI in your daily life as well. So based on that, the users, I mean the whoever is listening to this call, like you can get some other ideas based on what how others are using, and you can also think of how you can solve that problem, or how you can make that particular solve that particular use case with AI, right? Right. Let's say recently we got OpenClaw. Like most of you would have heard about OpenClaw, or would be running the OpenClaw agent as well. So have you heard about OpenClaw, by the way? Any one of you? Yes, Rashid. I think you have tried it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I was just starting it.
Nice. Like, did you? I mean, what's the difference that you found in OpenClaw compared to other traditional ChatGPT or Claude?
Once in, I think your voice broke.
Yeah. So I was asking. So the OpenClaw, how was it different from the traditional ChatGPT or Claude? Like, so the major difference between these is that ChatGPT can't text on its own, right? It only responds to you, right? Yeah. So Jay Kumar said it correctly. It's self-working AI. It has access to your environment. You are giving it basically your access to your computer, right? So it can text you basically on its own. So ChatGPT responds to you only when you text it, right? I mean, ask a query or something. But OpenClass can actually do some more stuff because it has access to your computer, and it can run cron jobs. Let's say I can set like every day 10 a.m. Send me a research report on the current trending topics of AI, right? I can do that. So so it's like a cron job, but it's connected with the LLM model, so it can do the research. It will basically do some web search, or maybe on Twitter as well. Get all the results, pass it on to the LLM model that will properly summarize everything, and this model will take. So the OpenClaw is just like a orchestrator of this model and different services and plugins, skills that we have, and you can basically use it for anything. Like if you are coding, right, you can. Instead of your complete intervention, you can ask OpenClaw to take care of your coding sessions in between. It will decide what to, like, sometimes middle of the session, Cloud or any model that you're using, any LLM model that you're using, it will ask for you to decide what to continue, right? Like questions or whatever. Like So if the OpenClaw has your context, so one good thing that OpenClaw did is that, let me just share the screen once. Yeah. So one good thing they actually did is that it has more better context of you, because they save all your persona and the way you talk with it, the way the skills that you wanted to have, that you can define them all pretty much. Let me just show the integrations that it has. Yeah. So these are all the tools and automation it has. It can control your browser with Chromium. It can control your so you can talk with, you can talk, so you need not to just type. You can talk with the model with your voice as well. It has Gmail connections and all, right? And so the main thing that it got right is that it has something like persona, like heartbeat and all. So heartbeat is basically checks on you for each and every 5 hours or something. If you can configure that, so it can basically it gets a persona, like it actually make so OpenClaw made it feel more personalized AI agent than ChatGPT and Claude. The main reason is because it has a better context of you. Because if you go to ChatGPT, right, each session has only very limited knowledge of you. If you set only the global context, or if you have created a project in the ChatGPT, yes, then it will be having some context, but overall it won't be having much context of you, right? So the whatever you are talking, it always you need to repeat the stuff and all. But here it saves the file. It properly saves the your details and instructions that you're saying, everything to a proper file, that can it will reference that file whenever it is required, right? And we have skills as well. Like skill is also basically a very similar use case. Let's say you are a full stack developer and you can create a front end skill, a designer skill, and you can use that skill while you are building website or designing something. You can connect Figma and Vercel. So you can use Figma Scale and MCP for creating the website, and just connect with, and so you can connect it with the Vercel as well, and deploy it from your chart itself. Like, so that will be very crazy to do, right? I mean, just from your chart without actually coding anything yourself, right? The model takes care of everything. So that's the convenience that you're getting with all these tools and plugins access. So this support of plugins skills is what we lack in traditional ChatGPT. But yeah, out Cloud. So now, but yes, these models, the proprietary company, they are replicating what is working in open source, right? So Cloud recently they introduced co-work in Codex. In Cloud Code also we got loop feature, which is basically like cron job, right? And Codex, which is agentic coding software from ChatGPT. It is also pretty good. They also have some automations, which is like similar to how cron job works on OpenClaw. So they replicate these things actually. And one good thing that Cloud Code has is that it has something called hooks. So hook is something that runs after. You can basically configure it to run on every call. Like let's say you're coding something and running some command, right? So you can set it, configure it to run before any bash command, right? Let's say this, I'm saying this because most some people have experienced this thing. There are some malicious projects that if you clone them into your system, that can basically copy your private keys, blockchain private, I mean your Web3 wallet private keys, and they can basically, once they have your private keys, they can steal your money easily, right? So before running any software, it's actually important to scan that thing properly. So that's why, like, before, let's say you are doing git clone, right? Git clone and npmi. So before doing that, so these are like commands, right? Git clone and npmi are like basically bash commands. So you can have a hook which basically configures to something like you're basically running a script, right? Which basically analyzes for any malicious code, right? So because if you are just wipe coding it blindly, you would come one day you might experience something like this, like you would you would come across some open source repo, like for let's say you found some open source repo of a good agentic orchestrator, but that actually has some malicious code in it. Maybe the platform owner didn't do it intentionally, but some of the, as it's open source, then anyone can contribute, right? So yeah, somehow they overlooked it, and some scammer or hacker have injected some malicious code in it. Now you have that software on your system, and that can lead loss of your funds, and they're getting the control of your system, right? So you need to be cautious in these things as well before you running anything on your own system, even OpenClaw. If you're setting it on your own machine, I wouldn't suggest setting OpenClaw on your own machine. I always suggest to get at least if not a second computer, you don't actually need a Mac Mini or something like that. That's like an overkill. You can just get a VPC from Hner or OVH. So these provide pretty much affordable uh, servers. If you go to cloud, right? So the cost optimized ones start with $3 itself. But yeah, I suggest the regular performance one if you are doing something serious. So these are like that cheap, right? Comparing to uh, getting a Mac Mini for dedicatedly for running your OpenCloud personalized AI agent. That will be expensive, right? Keeping it running all the time. Here, you don't have to worry about charging it. You don't have to worry about anything. It's all controlled by them. You just have to set up with that set. So many people just worry about setting it up and just buy some subscription. So that's also fine. If someone is able to, so that's where there is a use case again here, right? So if you have figured out how to set up a OpenClaw agent here, right? And you are, so it's costing some $5 for you here, and you can actually sell it for $10 per month to someone else. So that's how this uh, OpenClaw wrappers came, right? So if you could have noticed that there are some services that are selling OpenClaw hosted services, so you don't have to do anything. You just have to basically connect your Telegram or WhatsApp, and that's it. Like you don't have to set up anything. That's because they have wrapped it up. They've wrapped the setup for you. They have some multi-tenant setup, and they're taking care of it. So you can also do something like that, right? OpenClaw is the current trending thing, but tomorrow there could be something else. So there, so if you just go through the Twitter thing, right? Twitter, you find many people doing it. Usually, you'll find people who can do it on themselves. But there are many people who would like to who don't mind paying some more extra money for getting the abstracted version of it for making them life better. I mean, it's just more simple for them to do things, right? Like not everyone is technical. They can just use this without much setup, right? So this is one good use case. So keep an eye on what's happening on Twitter, what's happening in AI ecosystem, right? Again, you can use an AI agent for getting latest topics, whatever happening in AI, and you can ask it to suggest some, if there is some opportunity like OpenClaw that that spins up randomly one day. it can actually you can actually ask it to what can be built around this thing or something like that. So yeah, so more about, yeah, I think someone has raised their hand. Yeah, Karthik.
Yeah, we have two questions here. Uh, Rohit asks, have you felt any interest in using OpenClaw?
Yeah, so with yeah, I use Claude actually in my daily life for coding. Earlier I used to use Cursor a lot. Then I have moved to Codex. Now I use Claude Code a lot for my at my work as well. So one thing I can say is that Cloud Code is a lot better terminal. So Cloud Code is basically like a terminal interfaced uh, coding software, not your IDE, which is so Cursor is similar to VS Code, but Cloud Code is different. It's a terminal based coding. A little bit. There is some learning curve over there, but once you get over it, right, it's actually good because terminal can access your files better, right? In UI, in IDE, it's a lot more difficult for the LLM agent to grab all the files and all. But in Cloud Code, it's much more easier, and you can build much more control. You got much more control over your system as well. So the hooks I mentioned earlier, so we have built, so for Ortex, we have actually built a cloud code proper orchestration with hooks, skills, all these things, and we are working. We can see the improvement in our productivity. What could have done, 2 3 months, we are doing it in like literally 2 weeks. I'm experiencing that, growth every day. Actually, like I can see it. So yesterday as well, we have migrated test cases like 600 plus text cases within like 1 hour. So from end to end, like migrating everything and testing everything, we have done within 1 hour. And if it was like some 3 4 years back, right, it could have took us some at least a week for doing it properly. Like we are talking, because we're talking about like 600 plus test cases, right? So yes. So yeah, I mean, this is something I can talk about, like about Cloud Code. And yeah, yeah, I think you have mentioned about OpenClaw as well. Yeah, OpenClaw, I use it for doing some researches. So every morning I have configured it to have set up some cron jobs for sharing some ideas every morning about some particular prediction market, what's happening in prediction market space, right? So that's one cron job research that I run every day, and I use it for as a normal my personal assistant as well. Like I give it my task list for every day, and it keeps it. I set up reminders basically, and it will keep me accountable basically. I mean, I'm just keeping myself accountable by reminding myself with these things. I mean, I can just use a normal alarm or clock as well, but here, if you're using an AI assistant, it has more context and it can be more personalized as well, right? It's not just some random alarm. So yeah, that is actually helpful. I found it helpful actually. Yeah, I think that answers both of the questions. So if anyone has any other queries, we can take it up now. I think it's already 9:20. We can do it for 10 more minutes, I guess, and we can wrap the session. I know it's Friday night. Thank you all for joining on Friday night. Yes, I know it's weekend. Uh,
If anyone has any question, let's get it out, or else let's wrap it up. So,
so, which model do you think is better as a beginner while learning? I mean, you don't have to worry about choosing model. Actually, you can use any model literally. Like depending on your use case. If you are asking it for coding, go with any cloud model like Sonnet or Opus. Or if you're talking about, if you have a ChatGPT subscription, or you can use Codex, right? Codex models are also good. GPT Codex models. So yeah, I mean, and Gemini models are also good. If you are asking it for some general purpose, then you can literally use any model. all models are like almost give you similar results for general things. But yeah, if you're asking for more advanced things, then yeah, you need to. It's more about the environment where you are accessing it more than the model. You can even use open source models for. So an open source model which has more access to your computer, like which has more access to the internet and to other ecosystem, right? Like to the features, to the plugin skills, right? It can perform much better than a proprietary model which is sitting in your browser like ChatGPT, because that doesn't have much access to your computer. It can't do much. I mean, now they are getting plugins and all, but yeah, that will take time for them to ship. So yeah, like, that's about it. Okay, is there any browser extension to protect crypto wallets from malicious sites? Uh, it's actually, better. The best way to protect from these things is to, use the crypto wallet in a ideally in a different system where you don't use it ideally. I mean, don't use it for your regular use case, regular I mean daily life stuff. But yeah, that's difficult. I know. So the best thing you can do is that use a different separate browser for your wallets, right? Let's say you daily use Brave and Chrome, right? You can actually get a different browser, a Chromium browser, where you can install these wallets and use them for your only you use them only when you need them, like for making some transactions. So that's better. Like that would be a lot better, because browsers are the most vulnerable in this thing. It can easily be exposed if there is some malicious code, and also hash on rule is to never use your Web3 wallets in your daily driver browser, right? If Chrome is your daily driver, move your wallets from that, right? Move your wallets from your regular browser. So that's all I have to say. Yeah, so that's good, Gautam. And yeah, like if you can, spend some money, you can get a ledge hardware wallet, like cold wallet. Ledger is good. Ledger, Keystone is also good. You can get something like this, which provide you more security, because it they provide this air gapped. The transaction that you make will be air gapped, right? So there won't be any chance of some third party being involved in the transaction. Oh yeah, SafeWall is also good. Nice. All right, guys. I think we are about to wrap it up now, I guess. It was a good session. Thank you all for joining. We'll just keep it open for 3 more minutes if someone wants to ask anything. Yeah, thank you, Shajit. We'll be back with another town hall next month again. I hope you have a great weekend. Okay, once again, thank you, everyone. Bye bye. Okay, okay, bye, guys. Okay, let me just answer the question before ending the call. So Gautam asked, are private keys are stored in browser or disk? So it's actually stored in your browser only, like as far as I know. Unless you are using a desktop application, right? Desktop wallet. If you are using any normal extension, right? That will be in the extension only. But yeah, there are some desktop application, desktop wallets as well. So in that case, that will be in the disk. Yeah, I hope that answers your question. All right, guys. Thank you all for joining. Have a great weekend.